live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and welcome to the National News broadcast, bringing to you live from the National News Studios here at Rupavahini. Ready to bring you the top stories here at home and around the world. I'm Charita Minipurarachi.
And I'm Kasini Balachandra Adhikari. We start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
The next budget will allocate the maximum amount for capital expenditure. Raids will continue to nab traders who sell rice at high prices. Tangol and Beliata areas have received ample amount of red raw rice. UN General Secretary is ready to visit Sri Lanka. The Defence Secretary stresses that Sri Lanka Navy is bound to check any unpermitted vessel in Sri Lankan waters. Air quality index has become fairly harmful in several districts. The Election Commissioner General says that the local government polls will be held in April. Stampede in the Kumbh Mela festival in India claims over 30 lives. On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with the top story. Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Nandalal Veerasimha, says that a decision has been taken to maintain the policy interest rates unchanged considering the current positive condition of the economy.
Accordingly, the daily policy interest rate will be maintained at 8% as at present, and he made these remarks at a media briefing held in Colombo today.
Maintain at the current level of 8%. Also, it was decided to maintain the margin to form the standing deposit facility rate and standing lending facility rate unchanged at 50 basis points. Several factors have been taken by the board in arriving at this decision, and decision was made with a medium-term view of ensuring that the inflation is converging to the target of 5% while supporting the economy to reach its potential.
If we need to bring down the maintain liquidity, we have to find ways and means how to bring down the stock. That's not necessarily that we have to do it right now because we are maintaining liquidity at a certain level. Liquidity is going to be, if we think we need to absorb more liquidity, there are several other ways. And one of the ways is to sell off our treasury bond holdings. There's a market. So that I don't think we haven't seen still a liquid market. If not, there are other instruments that we can manage liquidity.
The UN country representative for Sri Lanka, Andrew Franch, says that UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is ready to visit Sri Lanka this year. He revealed this as a fact at a discussion held with the Minister Vijitha Herath today. At the discussion held in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the UN country representative expectations over the new government elected in Sri Lanka. He stated that UN Secretary General's visit to Sri Lanka will be scheduled at the end of this year. He informed the Foreign Minister that several leading UN summits are to be held in Sri Lanka. The Biodiversity Summit, Oceanic Summit, Summit of Climatic Changes, the Summit on the Social Development and the Summit for Women's Rights are amongst them. Now, President Anukumar Dissanayake says the highest amount allocated by government for the capital expenditure in the history of Sri Lanka will be allocated by the next budget.
Addressing the economic summit held in Colombo yesterday, he said that the amount is 1.35 trillion rupees. The Sri Lanka Economic Summit 2025, organized by the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce under the theme Shaping Sri Lanka's Future, Transformational Growth Rooted in Sound Economic Policies, aims to prepare Sri Lanka for a transformative shift in South Asia built on political stability, debt restructuring and improving sovereign credit ratings. Additionally, the summit envisions achieving overall economic growth in 2025, ensuring the nation's readiness for a brighter and a more stable future. Over 700 local and foreign investors were present at this summit. The President elaborated many information regarding the forward vision of the economy.
අප
President Ananda Kumar Dissanayake said that we represent a political movement that has not previously held power. If there are doubts about us among business groups, investors and certain members of the international community, we have been able to dispel those concerns and build confidence in the government's plans and future direction. He said that this achievement over the past 2 months is a significant milestone for us. The government anticipates an economic growth for exceeding 4% this year. While this is a challenging target in the face of recent economic downturns, we view it as an achievable challenge. He added that we are prioritizing several key sectors to ensure success in this endeavor. Notably, the upcoming budget plans to allocate 1.35 trillion rupees for capital expenditure in government investments. This will mark the largest allocation for capital expenditure by the government for any government in recent times. The President said that this in the past, due to insufficiencies and inefficiencies, previous governments failed to fulfill and utilize such allocations. With only 75% to 80% of the funds being spent, however, we are establishing the necessary mechanisms to ensure that the entire allocation is effectively utilized for its intended purposes. He further said that we recently held an in-depth discussion with the ministry secretaries and government officials from institutions related to investments. During this meeting, it was revealed that securing approval for an investment in Sri Lanka requires clearance from 82 different institutions. President Dissanayake said that is according to the report, obtaining these approvals currently takes over 2.5 years. For environmental approvals alone, there are 11 institutions involved and the process takes approximately 269 days. He said that in practical terms, this exceeds 2 years. The government plans to reduce the timeline is less than 82 days. Similarly, an investment project requires approval from 8 additional institutions, which currently takes around 184 weeks. He further said that the government aimed to reduce this to 102 days. Additionally, accessing public services comes with a significant financial burden. The President said that some institutions no longer serve a necessary function. While they may have been established to meet past needs, there is currently no proper plan to utilize them effectively. There are multiple state institutions operating within the same sector, which leads to inefficiency. He said that therefore these institutions must be consolidated to ensure better management and resource allocation. The state mechanism always assumed that political authority was trying to enforce hidden agendas. However, we have now proven that there are no concealed motives within a political authority. He said that therefore we believe the state mechanism will cooperate with us. In this process, even the state mechanism's attitudes must change. If decisions are not made within a specified time frame, the expected outcome cannot be achieved. Digital transformation is essential not only to improve efficiency and convenience, but also to elevate the country to a new level. Therefore, the President said that the digitalization of the government services is a priority at this stage. The implementation of an electronic national identity card, despite previous of an electronic national identity card misconceptions, presents an opportunity to create a globally relevant identity system. It is clear that a new administrative framework is needed. He also said that this existing state administration has proven to be inefficient and ineffective while it is corruptive.
ඉතාමත් හොඳ රැකියාවක් කරනවා. ඒ විභාගයට වාඩි වෙනවා. යම් ප්‍රතිපත්තියේ එකඟතාවයකට අපි ආයිත්ව තිබෙනවා. එයි පෞද්ගලික අංශය ආකර්ෂණීය ස්ථානයක් බවට පත් නොවේ. රාජ්‍ය අංශය ආකර්ෂණීය
The National Building Research Organization says that air quality index in several districts has increased up to a rather harmful extent. Senior scientist of the organization, Sarat Premasiri, says that if people face difficulties in breathing, they should seek for medical advice. The air quality index has indicated a rather harmful value in some areas today. Scientist Sarat Premasiri attributes this unsafe condition to the spread of dust particles with the winds blowing from northern area of the island. Environment in Colombo and several major cities today seems somewhat gloomy. The air quality index in these towns reported as 100 to 150 digits. Media spokesman to the Central Environment Authority, Dr. Ajit Gunawardena, said that this increase is visible throughout the island. In some areas, it was over 150 digits, which is a fairly harmful situation. He said that according to the data received, the index in Colombo is at 171 digits, while Kandy it is at 152. The National Building Research Organisation says that this condition may relatively decrease compared to yesterday and would become normal in few days. Senior scientist of the National Building Research Organisation, Sarath Premchand, says that the condition seems to be decreased relatively. It's expected that this harmful condition may decrease totally and become normal by this evening. He said that, however, if anyone has difficulties in breathing, they should seek for medical advice, but there's no reason to be panicked.
And meanwhile, Elections Commissioner General Saman Sri Ratnayake says that the local government polls should compulsorily be held in April. He expresses this view to the media following a program held in Kandy today. Elections Commissioner General Saman Sri Ratnayake said that it will be decided according to the Supreme Court decision. Then the Commission can reject the all nominations and call for new nominations. He said that the Commission needs a period of 66 days from the nominations date to holding of elections, and anyhow the polls should be conducted in April. He added that the GCE auditor level examination will be held from the 17th to the 29th of March. Therefore, the election period must come after this period. He further said that the Commission is able to prepare the date for the election without any problem or delay. On your more local stories, the Consumer Affairs Authority has intensified the operations to nab traders who sell rice at high prices. The authority take legal actions against the errant businessmen, and the rice and their sold at high prices will be sold to the consumers at the controlled prices. Meanwhile, our correspondent says that ample stocks of red flour rice have arrived at the business places in the southern province. Accordingly, several officials of the Consumer Affairs Authority nabbed several traders at the southern lane in Badulla last night and took legal actions against them. At the time, the Consumer Affairs Authority had to get the support of the police as a woman in a shop attempted to disrupt the duties of the officials.
රාජකාරියට බාධා කිරීම. හරිද? මේ වෙනකොට මෙයා රජයෙන් ලබා දුන්න රුපියල් 2000 ආච්චිවල දාලා ලොක් කරගෙන ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් උපාය දූතයාගේ ඉතුරු මුදල මෙයා ඉන්නේ උපාය දූතයා. දැන් අයිඩෙන්ටි දෙන්නේ ඒ ඇතියද? රයිට්. රාජකාරියට බාධා කිරීමෙන් අපි නඩු යොදලා මේක දාමු.
The Defence Secretary Air Vice Marshal Sampathu Yakunta says that Sri Lanka Navy is bound to check any vessel entering Sri Lankan territorial waters without any permission. He made these remarks at a media briefing held in the Ministry of Defence today. Sri Lanka Navy has taken 13 Indian fishermen into their custody recently who engaged in illegal fishing activities in the Sri Lankan waters. At that time, some fishermen acted in a violent manner, and accordingly 2 fishermen were injured and were admitted to the Jaffna General Hospital for treatment.
I understood the situation, and we are making all sort of efforts to coordinate the things with Foreign Ministry, and that is why we are conducting this sort of press briefing also. And it has happened in last 27th, and today it's 29th. First of all, we have to ascertain what has happened actually, and without that we can't brief you all as to what has happened actually. Now, with the preliminary investigation and the report submitted by the concerned parties of Navy, certain things up to the certain level, and we have informed it to Ministry of Foreign Affairs also, to avoid the misleading of false information.
5 nautical miles off the Sri Lankan coast, so it is very well within the Sri Lankan waters, and maritime board it is 10 nautical miles, so it is well within the Sri Lankan water. It is a significant encroachment within the Sri Lankan waters. First it would be the visual warning, then it would be the audible warning, and heed to our warnings. We were compelled to stop the vessel to see why it is not adhering to the warnings, and since the vessel did not comply with the orders that we issued and continued with the maneuvers of aggressive way, so it was a non-compliant boarding which we had to carry out to ascertain its purpose of being there. And when it comes for the aggressive maneuver, and when the other party is using aggressive tactics, it makes the situation even more complicated, and dangerous. And it's best if the parties comply with the orders given so that its purpose of being there could be ascertained and released if required, or else for us to produce it in the court of law of Sri Lanka. It was a discharge of a service weapon that injured the fisherman because there was apparently an attempt to grab these 2 personnel by these 13 personnel and to surround and grab, and in the course of that to remove the weapon from the custody of the officer. So that is our concern here. The preliminary report shows that the discharge of the weapon is downwards. Further investigations are ongoing, with we can come to a firm conclusion.
The first session of the Student Parliament at the Siribabo Bandaranaike Vidyalaya in Colombo was held at the All Parliament lobby in the President's office. This has been organized under the series of programs implemented for school children jointly by the President's Office, Ministry of Education and the Communication Divisions of the Parliament. Members of the Student Parliament had the opportunity to get an understanding on the conceptual value of Clean Sri Lanka project and its practical importance. A minister for the Clean Sri Lanka project, the school Student Parliament, was also appointed at this moment. Certificates were also distributed among the cabinet members of the Student Parliament and its members. Prime Minister Dr. Haruni Amalsurya, General Secretary of the Parliament Kushani Rohanadera, Principal of the Sidimavo Bandaranaike Vidyalaya Dr. Subedha J. Javera and many others were present at this occasion.
එක වයලක් කාලා ජීවත් වෙන සංඛ්‍යාව ලංකාව තුළ මිලියන 7ක් ඉන්නවා. ඔබතුමියන්ලත් ඔයාලගෙන තියෙන තේමාව තමයි පොහොසත් රටා ලස්සන ජීවිතයක්. මම අහන්න කැමති ඒ මිනිස්සුන්ට ලස්සන ජීවිතයක් ලබා දෙන්න ඔබතුමියන්ලා අරගන්න තියෙන ක්‍රියාමාර්ග මොනවාද කියලා දැනගන්න.
අපේ රජයේ අපේ ප්‍රමුඛතා 3ක් තියෙනවා. පළවෙනි එක තමයි දරිද්‍රතාවය තුරන් කරන එක මේ රටේ. ඒ අනුව තමයි අපි
First, it is to alleviate poverty. She said that all programs have been directed for this target. The second is digitalization and the third is the Clean Sri Lanka initiative. She also said that the government handles its economy and educational plans with the aim of alleviating poverty. In all other sectors, attention has been focused to distribute resources in equal manner. She further said that the next budget will further explicit our targets.
අරතරය අඩු කරන වැඩ පිළිවෙලක් තමයි අපිට තියෙන්නේ. ඉදිරියට එන අයවැයටත් ඔබ අවධානය දෙන්න. එතකොට ඒකෙනොත් අපේ යෝජනා තවදුරටත් දැනගන්න පුළුවන් නිශ්චිත වශයෙන්.
Rehearsals of the 77th Independence Day celebrations started today, and rehearsals will be held until the 2nd of February, and measures have also been taken to implement special traffic plans in the Colombo city during this period. The Independence Day celebrations rehearsals The Independence Day celebrations rehearsals, which started at 8 a.m, was held until 12 noon. During the rehearsal period, entrance to the Premakirithidi Alvis Mawatha from the Torrington Junction of the Bautaloka Mawatha and entrance to the Independence Square from the Maitland Crescent of the R.D. Senanayake Avenue have been limited. Entrance to the Independence Avenue from Stanley Vijayasundara Avenue and Foundation Institute Junction have also been restricted. Entrance to the Independence Square from Independence Roundabout and entrance to the Horton Roundabout from Library Roundabout were also limited. Access to the Independence Avenue from the Independence Foundation Junction is temporarily restricted. Accordingly, the City Traffic Police informed the public and motorists to evade the Independence Square area in entering Colombo City.
And meanwhile, Minister Sunil Hadurnetti says that a proper program is essential to provide and protect the environment of Nilbala River. The minister made these remarks at a participating in an observation tour to look into the problems raised in regard to the environment of the Nilbala River. According to a decision taken at the Mathura District Coordinating Committee, a program is to be implemented to conserve and develop the Nilpala River. Another aim of this observation tour is to find out the immediate solutions to the flood situation occurred continuously in the Nilpala River. State officials and several others were present at this occasion. Minister Sunil Handuneti said that many problems have been identified. This area is very conducive for tourism industry. He said that there is a possibility of developing it based on Nilpala River in Mathura area. Tourists can come up to Akurasa from the Mathura along the river and then to Singharaja forest. He added that this is a good trend in tourism development. Therefore, a project to conserve the river and enhance the environment of the area should be implemented.
Minister Dr. Nalindra Jayatissa says that the Health Ministry has taken measures to strengthen the supply chain of the high-quality medicine. The Minister made this comment joining the occasion to appoint members to the National Pharmaceutical Advisory Committee and the National Appeals Committee on Pharmaceuticals. The relevant appointment letters were distributed recently at the head office of the National Medicine Regulatory Authority. The first committee meeting was held under the patronage of Minister Dr. Nalindra Jayatissa. Professor Lal Jayakodi was appointed as the chairman of the 24-member National Advisory Committee. There are 3 members in the National Appeals Committee under the chairmanship of retired Judge Vijit Malalgoda. Minister Dr. Nalindra Jayatissa said that more attention has been focused to research and development field. He requests the young generation to achieve the development which the country missed for over decades. 516 students who successfully completed the Higher National Diploma and National Diploma of Sri Lanka Foundation Institute were provided with certificates under the patronage of Minister Dr. Nalindra Jayatissa. Lecturers and intellectuals were present at this occasion.
And now, a few more local news items in brief. SLTB bus and a private bus were collided with each other at the Habarana Forest Reserve area this afternoon. 12 persons were injured by this accident and have been admitted to the Bolanarwa Hospital. Air Marshal Bandhu Edirisinghe today assumed duties as the 20th Air Force Commander. He was held at the Air Force headquarters with the traditional Air Force Guard of Honours. The Supreme Court today decided to unidentifiedly postpone the order with regard to bail application submitted by the former controller of Immigration and Immigration Harsha Ilokpitia, who is now at the remand prison under the charges of contempt of courts. The panel of judges decided to summon the relevant hearing on the 9th of May. Minister of Power Engineer Kumar Jayakodi yesterday made an inspection tour at the Sampathskanda oil refinery yesterday. He also said that a discussion with the top management of the Petroleum Corporation regarding the planning of modernization activities and the other sectors which need special attention. A ceremony was held yesterday to facilitate senior and veteran actress in Sri Lanka, Irangani Serusinghe. It was organized by the All Graduates Organization of the Colombo University. Irangani Serusinghe has contributed to 42 films, 24 teledramas. This event was held at her residence. Stay tuned with international news after this break.
Welcome back, and in your foreign news tonight, multiple people were reported dead in a stampede at the world's largest religious gathering in India early today.
The officials stated that the number of deaths can be increased further. The Great Kumbh Mela festival commenced January 13th. Nearly 40 people were reported dead in a stampede at India's Kumbh Mela festival as millions of Hindu devotees gather for a ritual bath at the confluence of 3 sacred rivers. There has been no official confirmation yet on how many people have been injured or killed. Today marks as Mauni Amavasa, one of the most significant days of the Mahakumbh Mela festival. The state governor Yogi Adityanath has asked the devotees to follow the rules and procedures laid down in the puja ground. Furthermore, the state governor has discussed the incident with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Great Kumbh Mela festival will be held until the 26th of next month, and it is expected that more than 100 million devotees will participate in it.
And from the world of sports, rain has disrupted the first Test cricket match between Sri Lanka and Australia.
At the stumps today, Australia with 330 runs for 2 wickets in the first innings. The match was played at the Galle International Cricket Stadium.
To enhance
Australia from the toss and decided to bat first. Accordingly, openers Usman Khawaja and Travis Head had a good start in the first match. Travis Head was out for 57 runs. Mahrez was out for 20 runs and the second wicket. Then the captain, Seven Smith and Usman Khawaja scored 195 runs partnership for the third wicket. In the highest partnership for the Australian batsman for the third wicket in Sri Lanka. Captain Stephen Smith today passed the 10,000 runs mark and he is the series with 104 runs. And Usman Khawaja is 147 runs not out. Tomorrow is the second day of the match.
losing his line. And that is a
And in more
magnificent
sports
100
news,
from Usman Khawaja. You can see
Sri Lanka young women's players were able to end the Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup tournament with a victory today. They won the match played against Australia by 12 runs.
their utmost to go past.
The tournament is being held in Malaysia, and batting first in the match, Sri Lanka scored 99 runs for 8 wickets in the allotted 20 overs. Sanjana Kavindi scored 19 runs. Lily Basinwaite claimed 3 wickets for 7 runs. In reply, Australia only scored 87 runs for 8 wickets in their 20 overs. Goime Bray scored 27 runs. Chamidi Prabodha, Pramodi Metsara and Aseni Talagune claimed 2 wickets each.
Misses a length there. It's a good shot. Does it have enough on it?
Got this one. This time off.
Yeah, lovely shot.
And just with that sports update, we'll be wrapping up tonight's news. Dodgers tomorrow at the very same time. I'm Charita signing off with